Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the United Kingdom. It is Monday, the 12th of February at 6:29 in the morning, and I'm assuming that a lot of you are still in bed. Well, I'm on my way to work. Right, so a little backstory. I'm going back to the UK's knife crime. So this is the second video. A little add-on. In my last video, there was a question posed to me: where did all this badness come from? Right, well, good question. So first and foremost, I'm out here this early so that I can get to work before the traffic. I'm actually a trainer, I'm an educator. For want of a better word, a teacher. I don't class myself as a teacher, but I teach young adults. I teach young adults to be mechanical technicians, be it light vehicle, heavy goods vehicle, bus and coach. That's where I am at this time in my life. Now, as you can appreciate, on any one day, I've probably got a room of around about 15 students, all looking to me to help them with their career. And you do mix with them, you bond with them, they become your children. And when you have students come in at the beginning of the week that doesn't really know what they're doing, and by the end of the week they're pretty much clued up and they've had tests and exams and that they've got it, they're happy. As a trainer, as a teacher, that gives you something, that gives you satisfaction, the likes you can only really get with your own children. I'm not comparing them to my own child, but that's the sort of feeling that you get. So imagine how you would feel if you got to work one day and your student didn't turn up because sometime over the weekend somebody pulled out a knife and took their life. Be it male or female, it's irrelevant, because the younger generation today don't seem to care. And the question I was given was, where does this badness come from? Well, I've got a bit of a theory on that. Be it true or false, I'm not really sure. But I mean, we blame social media and everything else, and the TV. Now I'm heading closer towards the TV. When I was young, when I was lad, when I started my apprenticeship in 1976, so in 76 I was 16 going on 17. I think Emmerdale Farm TV programme started at around 1972. So as a child, I was growing up with Emmerdale Farm, and it was a farming programme then. It was a nice programme about rural life. And then in the 80s, I think it's 85-ish, we had EastEnders, and somewhere in the middle or around about the same time as Emmerdale Farm, we had Coronation Street. Now when EastEnders kicked in, competition kicked in. And I do not watch these programs anymore. I refuse to watch them. I can't, because everybody's miserable, everybody's stressed out, and everybody is trying to hurt everybody else. Just think about it. EastEnders. We'll use the Mitchell brothers. If they had any issues, if there was a problem, they would attack it, kidnap it, tie it up, burn it, shoot it. They'd do everything they could that was violence to take care of the issue. Then Emmerdale Farms followed suit. So then you got the Cane Dingles of this world that would fight, go out with a baseball bat, kidnap, murder, throw people in a ditch, And this has gone on and on and on since the 80s. So there's been at least 40 years of generations growing up on mummy's knee, watching the soap operas, where they have normalised violence. Absolutely normalised violence. Not only have they normalised violence, but as a parent, you can no longer correct your child. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm not into beating children. You know, I'm into protecting children, helping them, educating them. But at the end of the day, if you want to bake a cake, you have to get all the right ingredients in the right measure. You put them together and you make that cake happen. You can't just cut a child loose on this world and expect it to grow up as a good human being with all the badness around, without guiding and helping that child in the right direction. You have to make that child happen. And that isn't possible now because we're not allowed to. Literally, we're not allowed to. So I don't really know where the world is going to go with all of this. So yeah, there's my theory. So what do we do? Do we ban soap operas? Yeah, don't bother me in the slightest. You know, I can't watch them anymore. If you don't watch them tonight, because they will be on, just put them on for 5 minutes. And from the instant they come on, there's misery, there's bitching, there's aggression, there's violence. Is that supposed to be TV? Look at Christmas time. It's a competition to see who can kill the most amount of people in the most horrific way. You know, do we put them all in the Queen Vic and burn them, or do we get a train come off the train track and wipe out an entire row of houses? You know, Emmerdale Farm. Do we have floods? Do we have fires? Do we have an airplane come down in the middle of the village? There's going to be something somewhere. And the idea is to kill as many people as possible in the most horrific way to celebrate Christmas. Shut the fridge door, for Christ's sake. Wake up. The world's gone crazy. Our youth of today, well, they're not youth anymore. Like, they're adults now. But this is how they've grown up. They don't know any difference. And then when they lash out, you go, what did you do that for? Well, it's all they know. Nobody's taught them any difference. So it's time for change, guys. Do something about it, right? Your children, they're going to school, right? They're probably not learning much. You'd be amazed how many young adults cannot tell the time on a clock, right? It's not their fault. I blame the schools, I blame the systems, right? They've got digital clocks on their telephones. That's all they've got. And they don't understand the 24-hour clock. You put you put an analog clock in front of them, they don't know how to read it. So you imagine assessments, exams, and you put a clock up on the wall, you say, right, you have 1 hour and 20 minutes. They don't know what time it is. They can't read the goddamn thing. I had one student tell me, I know what 12:30 looks like because dinner time at school was 12:30, and I know what that looks like, but other than that, I can't tell the time on that clock. Not their fault. You know, where are the parents? When your child comes in from school today, right, have a chat to them. Say, come here. Little Freddie, little Susie. Come here. Let's have a look in your bag. Empty your pockets. Are you carrying a knife? Are you carrying a weapon? If you are, why are you being picked on? Is it for fun? Is it so that you look big in front of your friends? Now, you might just save your child from a fate worse than death. And to be honest, I can't think of anything worse than death, particularly for a parent who's just lost a child. So guys, time to do something about it. And I'm sorry if you don't like what I'm saying, but nobody's saying anything now. Nowadays, it's just, oh, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do the other. You might upset somebody. Well, you know what? Tough. Right? They're our children, and they're dying. over the weekend, another couple of youths stabbed. Yeah, I don't yet know whether they've died or not, but yeah, there's been stabbings over the weekend. Commonplace every weekend, doesn't matter, you know. So it's time to look at this. So guys, sorry if I bored you, sorry if I'm getting on your wick with this, but please, food for thought, have a think about this. We need to do something, and the UK law needs to be changed so that it actually deters people. All right, catch you later guys, have a good day, and see you on the next one.